Okay, probably a quick-ish video, I think. The character in the next sequence that we're doing, I had mentioned in recent live streams that my concept was for this character who's basically a slave in the palace. His voice was going to be the voice of similar to Roger the alien from American Dad. For no other reason than I like the character. I thought it would be fun. So I'll show you what I'm doing here is in the storyboard. So we want him. He's a eunuch, okay, and you can take that for what it's worth. But basically, we want this guy to have fairly gay body language. And his voice, the way he talks is completely like Roger. So this is how he talks. If you don't like that, if that makes you uncomfortable, well, you know, that's your problem, and you need to get yourself figured out in due course. So that's who this guy is. So in this drawing, I'll show you what I'm thinking is once Golik enters, he's going to have a reaction. So now I'm going to show you how this works from a character design standpoint. What we're going to do is, let me just kind of get the bottom of his neck location right about there. And we really want to hit the B key, so we're using a brush and not the freehand path tool, by the way. And we don't want to be in erase mode. Okay, so the idea, let's zoom in a bit. So the idea is actually to first draw Roger. So I'm going to draw a character that looks pretty similar to Roger. Roger is an alien. Okay, so some of you guys may recognize this character from American Dad. It looks to me like those eyes are just a little too high on his head. I love Roger. He's such a great character. Okay, so that's pretty much Roger. Okay. And so what I did was I said, okay, let's take Roger. Let's give him eyebrows. Let's give him a little mustache. Let's give him ears. And let's give him a little hook nose. And then we'll take his big alien head and convert it into a turban. So, a completely unoriginal character in the sense that it's completely an homage to another character from another show. And I think that's just a wonderful thing to do. I mean, I think that's really, really nice, don't you? I'm sure you do, because we're all friends here, aren't we? So this is how this fella talks. And he's going to have quite an interesting little conversation with Golik here in just a minute. It's going to be nothing but fun. So when Golik appears in the doorway, then he reacts. And I think the reaction is a little too weak. So I'm going to try to expand his eyes a bit for the reaction shot. A little bit more of your sort of, I suppose, Matt Groening kind of thing. And then in this case, what we want to do is we want to turn him so that he's actually shifting his attention over towards Golik. Okay. Okay. And so there's this turban. And then we'll, whoopsie. And then put a little bit of a fear expression there on him. And then, of course, unlike Roger, this guy has a nose. And then a little bit of a mustache. And so now he's going to have some interactions, as I say, with Golik. So anyway, this is a short video just to show you how, um, as cartoonists and fledgling artists or animators, we sometimes I think we extol the virtues of originality a little too much, especially when, let me put it this way, the people who talk too much about making sure everything they do is original usually are not the most talented people in the room, actually. Hate to say that, but it's true. And we stand on the shoulders of giants. So in the case of this guy really doesn't look anything like Roger. In fact, if you look at his color setup, and this is actually, you can see it right here. This is Roger from American Dad, and then this is my character. So clearly it is an homage, but it's not a copy. It's not any kind of copyright violation or anything like that. It's just, and it's intended in the right spirit, which is, I like the character of Roger, and so I thought it would be fun to sort of hide Roger in my show. And he's an incidental character who appears in this episode, and he may come back, I suppose, in another, but the idea is that he is just sort of a one-shot deal type of character. So I just thought it'd be fun, especially because I'm trying to up the humor element in Salt and Light a little bit, and one of the ways I wanted to do that was introducing characters that I really feel like I can have fun with, kind of on all levels, visually and with the voices, obviously with the dialogue and whatnot. As you can see, his body language, he's kind of a tubby guy, but with really thin chicken legs. So the way the scene begins is he's kind of going, dust, 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 dust. Oh, dust, dust, dust down here. And what do I think? Oh, what about over there? Oh my goodness. Oh, Golik, Golik, Golik. You are a messy boy. And then Golik shows up. And then, okay, so that's where we're at. So anyway, that's nice. That's less than an 8-minute video, and I thought you guys would find that kind of fun. The main takeaway here is that starting with characters that you like and then building off them and getting them away from them enough to make them original is absolutely valid and can be a lot of fun. And so why reinvent the wheel? Why not have fun with the wheel? Okay, so that's it for now. As you guys know, there will be more later.